Okay, we'll go ahead and call the regular meeting of the Charles City Board of Education to order and have the secretary call the roll, please.
Walker.
Here.
Dyke absent. Freund.
Here.
Mack.
Here.
Maycumber.
Here.
Connect.
Here.
Okay, reading of the district mission statement. Our mission is to engage, inspire, and empower students and staff in order to maximize learning. Agenda item 3 is approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or corrections?
Number 10 is actually an action item, not an information item, so small change.
Oh, okay. So,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
motion is second to approve the agenda as amended. Roll call vote, please.
Freund.
Yes.
Mack.
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. Move on to agenda item 4 and welcome the visitors. Are there any visitors who would wish to make public comment tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to comments by the board members and superintendent. Dr. Cox.
All right, congratulations to the Comet Marching Band on their Division I rating on Saturday, a contest. Congratulations also to Melinda Masters, who was named a Golden Apple recipient by KAMT TV in Mason City. And finally, we have work on phase 2, the high school remodeling project that will be continuing. So tomorrow and Wednesday, the Ag Shop will be converted into a prototype learning space that can be used throughout the upcoming months as we refine the final remodeling plans that will go before the voters in 2018.
Excellent. Anybody have comment tonight?
I just want to mention driving up First Avenue, the sidewalk's being completed now. It looks awesome.
Yes.
Seen it in the morning and being used, in the afternoon being used. Just wanted to say thank you to the city. Thank you to the residents along First Avenue. Our students' safety and convenience. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Move on to agenda item 6, committee leadership.
So last year we assigned official committee chairpersons to each committee. It helps you with your Better Boardsmanship Award, and it also gives us a point contact for committee meetings, etc. So you see them before you, the buildings and grounds. The recommended person would be President Walker, Communications and PR, Director Mack, Finance, Director Dite, Negotiations and Compensation, Director Maycumber, Policy, Director Freund, and then I would be the contact for the School Improvement Advisory Committee.
Comments or questions? Or?
Looks
No.
great.
Makes sense. Go ahead.
These are for 1 year?
1 year.
For this year
Yep.
term?
Okay.
Yep.
Looks fine.
Okay. Awesome. Is there a motion to?
I'll make a motion to appoint committee chairs for 2017 and 18 as recommended.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to appoint the committee chairs as shown. Roll call vote, please.
Freund.
Yes.
Mack.
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. So moving on to committee reports, agenda item 7. Buildings and grounds, we'll start there. We did meet this last week and just had a few things to catch up on. Mostly updates on how the summer projects went from Jerry, which I believe he gave the update to be put in the annual report. So when you flip through that, you'll be able to find that. He started organizing what he wants to have for, hopeful to have for accomplishments for next summer. So he's planning that out in his budget. And we'll have that probably come before us when he gets that finalized. So I don't know if any of these others have met. Communications hasn't met. Finance.
I don't believe there are any of the rest of the committees that were
Negotiations,
met.
nothing. No. SIAC was postponed. So okay, agenda item 8, the band trip for 2018.
So we've got 2 of our 3 music instructors here, Bethany Ryan and Jake Gassman. Perhaps one of them is going to step forward and talk about the proposed trip over spring break to New York City for the Charles City High School Band, Choir, and Orchestra. And I'm guessing our 3rd director is doing musical practice right now.
He sure is. So we're looking at going to New York City. We take a trip every 2 years. We do a coastal trip every 4 years, and then in between that we do a regional trip. Last year we went to Chicago, or 2 years ago, forgive me, we went to Chicago. 2 years before that we went to Washington, D.C., and then Before that was Chicago, and then before that again was New York City. We found that, actually it was kind of surprising. We found out that a lot of kids already go to Washington DC for a lot of different things, and we didn't have great turnout, so we decided that every 4 years our goal is to go to New York City every 4 years, so all the kids get a chance to take that trip. Right now we're looking at, again, keeping Chicago in between that. They have the best offer for the price. But we might do some changing on that. So that's our goal right now, is to go to New York City here in March over spring break. I believe you guys have an itinerary in front of you. Just to give a quick recap, we're going to see all the sites that you would expect to see. We're going to go to the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, the 9/11 Memorial. We're looking at seeing the musical Wicked, which is one of the standards on Broadway. We're also going to see Stomp, which is another great show. Our turnout for kids that are interested, families that are interested, is great. Right now we have 111 interested parties. If you're looking at the information you have there, I believe it says our top is 109. That was when we thought we had 55 passenger buses. We have 56 passenger buses. So we filled both of them all the way with people that are interested in going. So, which is fantastic, because that puts our price at the lowest price point that we can get it. And our goal was to stay under 1,000, and we will be under 1,000 for this trip, which is fantastic. I know you guys have, like I said, you have the itinerary. Do you have questions for me, what you're looking for?
Questions or comments?
What does the adult to student ratio end up being? Do you know that?
That's a great question, and I checked that right before I came over. Right now we have 20 adults going. So there was the 91 students, so we're looking at just right around 5 to 1 for student to adult. 6 of those are are school employees even, so that made me even happier to see that. The 3 of us and then 3 of the parents that are going are school employees.
And I just wanted to make a comment for the public too, that I see you will have a security guard along.
Yeah, the tour company that we're choosing to use, they always add that in with their tours, as we can choose to have a security guard for nighttime security. Keep everybody a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
This is a bucket list itinerary. I love it. I
That's
was looking at
fantastic,
that.
isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
just, that's.
This will be my 4th time going to New York City on a school event. I've gone twice as a student, and this will be my 2nd time going as a teacher, and I'm really looking forward to going back.
What a great opportunity at a great price.
Yeah, absolutely. The itinerary, I looked through that, and I was just wowed. I mean, it's everything.
I'm actually kind of disappointed the buses are full.
Yeah, absolutely.
Missed the bus, so to speak, there.
I have a trailer they carry their equipment in.
Yeah.
There's a big compartment underneath.
Yeah. Excellent. Any other questions? Is there a motion for?
I'd make a motion to approve the CCHS band, choir, and orchestra trip as recommended.
You know, I'll second that.
Excellent. A motion and seconded to approve the band, choir, and orchestra trip as recommended. Roll call vote, please.
Mack,
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Freund,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Agenda 9, item 9, Crazy 8 Math Club.
So we have 2 teachers from Lincoln Elementary, Diane Sandy and Melinda Masters, and they've got some students with them as well, so I'm not sure who's going to go to the microphone first.
I'll come to the microphone first. I'm Diane Sandy, and I'm a 4th grade teacher. Melinda's the other teacher, and she's a 4th grade teacher as well. And we started the Crazy 8 Math Club this year. It is to help kids love numbers so that they can handle math in real life. And it's not targeted for kids who are really good at math, kids who are bad at math. It's just for any kid to come after school, and we do a variety of things that involve math. And I think sometimes they don't even realize they do math. So we brought 6 students with us. They're going to introduce themselves and kind of give you an idea of what we do on Monday nights. Bryce?
All of a sudden they're nervous. They were excited.
We were excited.
My name is Bryce Walker, and tonight we did coding with numbers. And one of the papers that we did was there was 2 shapes. There was one tic-tac-toe form, and then there was an X, and then there were 2 letters in each one, and then you drew, and then each part of the of each shape, if the part of the one you had to figure out if it didn't have a dot, then it was the first one, and then if it had a dot, then it was the second letter.
Thank you.
My name is Francisco Uriastegui, and I'm going to share something related to what Bryce said. It's something that we did. We did one page of it before we left, and we brought it home, and we have like around a week to work on it by the end of the week on Friday. And it's a cryptogram, so it's like letters and numbers, and then you're gonna have to like translate it to letters. It gives you hints so you know what to write down, and it's pretty much like decoding, but it's different because.
So you can write secret
It's
notes and your
harder.
parents want to know what they are?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Cool.
My name is Peyton, and we learned how a pan flute, how the notes work, and what different vibrations work.
Hi, I'm Fiona, and one time at Crazy 8 Math, we did something with time where we had to guess how long we've been doing something, and we also made big clocks using big cards, 1 through 12, and then we called out a time, and we ran over and laid down and pointed to the time.
Hi, my name is Hayden, and we used glow sticks and Crazy Eights, and we made shapes, and we tried putting them together to make things. We used squares that did grids, and then we tried some other shapes.
We'll bring our cameraman.
My name is Jonah, and one time at Crazy 8 Math Club, we used some glow sticks to make a bunch of different shapes, and then we had to put all of the shapes together to make that shape but bigger, and it took a long time because we can never figure out how to get the correct shape done in it.
So the club runs for 8 weeks sequentially, and then there are various sessions. So the students that did session 1 will have the opportunity to sign up for session 2. And then once you do session 2, you can do session 3, and so we're planning on going throughout the whole year. So any questions?
How many students did you say?
Right now, we have 32 students, and we had a waiting list. So that's why I recruited Mrs. Masters, because we had 50 students sign up. And you can it's only limited to 16 per teacher, so that it's just a nice small group, and that's what they've found has worked the best. So yeah. And I'm surprised they didn't say what we did last week, Toilet Paper Olympics. So, any other questions?
Well, I just want to make a comment. My daughter Riley is part of that group, and she loves it. And she is a child that does not like math. It's not one of her favorite subjects. So I appreciate it because it's getting her more excited about math.
Well, good. We just have a good time.
Yeah.
And I think it does hit the extreme, but also the middle.
It's the extremes, but also the middle group. So yeah, the high and the low, and then that middle group that kind of likes it but doesn't, that type of thing.
Right.
So
if you see
strengthens those skills.
If you see lots of success with these students in this area, why not bring this right into the classroom then and do math in the classroom at this approach as opposed to the way that we are?
Well, one thing Mrs. Masters and I have already talked about is when we do geometry, how much fun it was when we did the glow sticks for the different shapes, and to be able to turn off the lights and they all glow. And so I think the kids really liked that, and they can really visualize it a lot easier than if you're just drawing it on paper using toothpicks or something like that. But they really liked that.
It created a partnership as well, because it ended up being a team of people trying to build this larger shape from a square, from you know, a hexagon.
So you're
type of
realizing
thing.
benefits from this program then too, if you're seeing something
Yeah.
that you can later on bring into the classroom because it's so successful with the kids. That's awesome.
It's just fun. Today they got magnifying glasses to take home.
They were
You know,
spies. as
they were
were.
spies.
Yeah.
Well, when we've visited some other schools, we've been to schools that this is the type of math lesson they do. And it is interesting to see how excited, because you don't realize how fun math is if you get away from the problems on the paper and in the book, how it is fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, Bryce barely gets through the door every Monday he wants to blurt out what he did and how excited he was about it. So it's thank you guys for taking the time to do that.
Yeah, and thank you for introducing
it's
that to
so-
our students,
yeah,
so they're
it's
going to
so
look for it and they
appreciated.
respect it and want it.
Well, we have fun too. And Pritchard also helps us, so.
Good.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to agenda item number 10, which is now an action item instead of an information item, and National Principals Month.
October is National Principals Month, hashtag Thank a Principal, sponsored by the National Association of Secondary School Principals, the National Association of Elementary School Principals. So we've got some pictures of our administrators up on the screen right now, and just scrolling some action shots of them with students. And it is an opportunity for us as a school board, for our community, to just pause and reflect upon the contributions that our school administrators make each day at the building level, and to say thank you. So there is a recommended
Motion. yeah.
motion, but it's just your opportunity as board members, again, to say thank you to Josh Johnson and Larry Wolf at the high school, Rick Gable and Keith Ryder at the middle school, Kara Shannon and Marcia DeVore at the elementary schools for the work that they do.
Excellent. Yeah. We'll let that run. Is there a motion for the recommendation given?
Yeah, I will make a motion to recognize and thank Kara Shannon from Washington, Marcia DeVore from Lincoln, Rick Gable at the middle school, Keith Ryder at the middle school, Larry Wolf, and Josh Johnson at the high school for their contributions to the Charles City Community School District.
No, second it.
Motion and seconded to recognize our dedicated principals in our buildings here. We get roll call vote, please.
Maycumber,
Yes.
Freund,
Yes.
Mack,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Definitely thank them for all of their hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Job shadowing, agenda item number 11.
So this is a item that we started a year ago at the board's request. And what we do, we've got some tiles this year to make it easier on you and on us as well. So they are numbered. There are 45 staff persons from Charles City High School on my list right now. I'm going to come around, have you draw a tile, and that will be the person that you will, sometime over the next 4 weeks, stop by and visit their classroom, spend 45 minutes to an hour. And Jason, if you want to talk a little bit.
Yeah, I just was going to fill in on the history here. I think I had mentioned to Missy and maybe Josh too, but throughout the time, throughout your time on the board, we do a lot of sessions with IASB and different things, and many times there are districts, surrounding districts that we all get together and kind of do them at the same time. This was one that came out of one of those meetings where I was randomly sitting at a table with some Osage board members, and we were working through the topics on the agenda for that meeting that night, and the one had mentioned that they do this concept, and I had really thought that it would be a great thing to work on and implement here, and we talked about it at the board table, and they talked about up there how much success they'd had with it. So last year we had 4 times that we did it, and it ended up being a great success. So I look forward to continuing it.
Do you want to draw for Vice President
Sure.
Dite as well tonight?
And did you say this is all high school teachers?
This is all
Yeah, so-
Charles City High School.
Okay.
What happened
Next
last
month,
year?
We'll rotate to another building because, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, we had all of them mixed together last year for whatever reason. It seemed like, I think we had a couple of elementary and a bunch of middle school teachers picked and no high school teachers. So
Okay.
now we'll make sure we get a better rotation out of this then.
So this is something we do every month, is that
Well,
correct?
yep,
Okay, great.
first meeting of the month, and then you report on the previous
You have
month.
from the first meeting to the next first meeting, so you have the month to
get
to
that.
to get in contact with him. And I guess since new board, usually contact via email.
Yep.
We
Okay.
send an email saying,
Yep.
congratulations, you have been
Yeah.
chosen.
You've been chosen, you're the lucky one.
Yeah, and I will tell you, all of the staff that I've talked to are begging to have their name picked. You know, they just are really looking forward for the opportunity to have us come in, and that's no exaggeration. They really, the response has been really good. And what I try to get out of it is I really like to try and get some sort of really fun thing that they're doing or something that they're really proud of so that we can share it at the board table. Gets it on the local television station, so, you know, even more good news that we're spreading throughout the community of the good things that we're
It
doing.
is the
in
time
our
to go into their
district, so.
classrooms or go participate in their activities and bring back all the good stuff they're doing.
Yep.
For us to see it firsthand. I happened to get it on a math lesson and the tree planting, and that was, go in and find all the positives that are going on.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I would encourage our student board member to take part as well. I know at the high school, you may end up with a teacher you already have, but next month it'll be at one of the other buildings, and I think you would enjoy seeing it from that perspective too. So.
Absolutely.
Number 17.
17, so Ann Haynes.
All right.
So you pass that to.
Thank you. I'll pull it out and keep it going. Number 8.
Sarah Downing.
$34.
Yeah, that's my number change.
34. Bethany Ryan,
Sorry about
who was
that.
just here.
All right.
Boy, that's a moving one. It moves too fast.
First period? I'll try not to. Pull for Scott. That's 44.
44 gives him Rachel Wolf. One of our new teachers.
45.
45, Naomi Yadoff.
Nice, good mix of,
Yeah?
36.
36, Mrs. Ridinghouse.
oh. All right.
All right.
I think that's all of them. That,
Put your tiles back in and send it this way. Thanks.
excellent. Well, I look forward to hearing the reports back, and like I said, in the past, we spent hour, no long time commitment, no expectation of all day or anything like that, so. Look forward to hearing at the next, first meeting of November on the reports. Moving on to agenda item 12, superintendent's evaluation process.
So in your packet, you have a copy of the proposed individual administrative professional development plan and the proposed 14-page superintendent evaluation tool that would be used over the course of this school year. So I'd be happy to answer any questions on either one.
The first question I would ask is how does it relate or tie into the strategic plan or the annual report, the things that you mentioned here you want to complete for next year?
So the culture and climate goal would relate directly to the strategic plan. And each one actually under in the 14-page document, when you get down to about page 12, it'll tell you. So the first goal of the phase 2, can you make that a little bit bigger?
That one, yep, okay.
Excuse me, the innovative academic programs. So we have high academic achievement as one of the 5 strategic plan goals. The second one is the phase 2 process, the facilities for educational excellence, and then the third one is the culture and climate. So each of them tie back into the strategic plan.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions?
Last year, we had gone through the process of, was there 2? Right. Yeah, we do the.
So January
Yeah,
and April are the 2 proposed review dates to check in on progress.
Okay.
And then the summative would be in June.
Anything in particular you would like to highlight as part of this that you're really excited about, or anything that you see as being something that you may struggle, or comments, I guess?
The first one on the academic goals, just to continue facilitating the innovative work that we have going on in the districts. I'm excited about that. I think we have a lot of good things taking place. Interested in the K-12 aspect of that. So we hear a lot about the secondary successes that we have going on, but making sure that there's innovative programming going on K through 12. And Crazy 8 would be an example of an after school, but something extra that we're doing, again, innovative to reach students. The phase 2 process, that's been a consistent board goal. You know, let's get going. Let's make sure we're making good progress. And so the plan is to take that to the voters in 2018 and leading that process similar to the way the middle school was done. And then the third one, the culture and climate, which you've referenced several times, and just making sure that we have a focus on employees and making it an inviting place to work so that people do want to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does one of those facilities, the phase 2, is that kind of tied into the facilities that we talked about at the beginning, the renovation of the shed? I don't know if that's the correct term. What's it called? Where we're changing into like a learning space, and someone's going to lose their office to be a quiet area.
The ag shop.
Thank you. Ag shop.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Comments or questions? Thoughts? Anything additional?
I would say, Fallon, you won't be part of the end product in June, but you'll be part of this process along the way in January and April. And so from your student perspective, do speak up if you've got some things that you'd like to add when we get to that January review.
Absolutely. Excellent. Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the superintendent's evaluation tool and individual administrator's professional development plan.
No, second.
A motion and a second to approve the superintendent's evaluation tool and individual administrative professional development plan. Roll call vote, please.
Maycumber?
Yes.
Groin?
Yes.
Mack?
Yes.
Maycumber. I'm sorry, Walker.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. Agenda item 13 is the board goals.
So in a month, the board will be honored for the third year in a row as being a recipient of the Better Boardsmanship Award, the Team Award. Last year, you made that as an official board goal. The recommendation is to put that as an official board goal again for 2017-18.
Just a quick explanation then for what that
Yeah,
entails
for our
and what.
Two newcomers on the board. It does entail earning 125 credits over the course of a 12-month period that began on September 1st. You'll get credit for attendance at regional meetings, at the board convention, which is coming up in November, taking part in webinars, at the board table exercises here. I'd like to do a book study with the board. I'll bring some more information about that either at the 2nd October meeting or the 1st November meeting. And all of that learning, both the formal learning and the leadership and service advocating down in Des Moines, all of it goes toward the goal of being a board that's recognized for doing high quality work and modeling that continuous learning that we're asking of our staff. So that's kind of the Better Boardsmanship in a synopsis.
It is a time commitment. I mean, there are obviously meetings that go just a little bit longer for at the board table things. There are meetings where we do travel to surrounding districts for regional meetings, but at the end of the year, I found it to be quite rewarding, and for a couple of reasons. It is nice to be recognized for that at the convention. Last year, I believe we were one of seven?
One of seven.
7 school districts in the state that the majority of our board members earned the award, so that was kind of a nice recognition. But with that, there's just invaluable information that we pick up along the way. Stuff that just makes it so much easier to understand this process, understand what we're, why we're here, what we're doing, and to make us more effective and efficient at doing this stuff too. So.
And where do we find, you mentioned webinars, where do we find information on that, or is that something that you provide to the board throughout the year?
Yeah, it'll be coming.
Okay.
You should get pretty frequent emails from the Iowa Association of School Boards They don't have the 2017-18 official credits list up yet. As soon as they do, I'll download that, and I'll send out reminders when webinars are taking place, regional meetings, and other opportunities.
Okay.
What I've done too is on our Chromebooks, as I've put an IASB tab up at the top to click on, and if you click on that, then you can automatically go to their site and pull down for the pro menu too to see what's going on and what's happening. And updates, it's really great when the legislators get into session, they'll do a daily, almost daily update of what's going on. in the legislature.
Excellent. Any more questions or comments? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the board goal of achieving the Better Boardmanship Team Award of Achievement in 2017-18.
I'll second it.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the board goal of achieving the Better Boardsmanship Team Award of Achievement for 2017-18. Roll call vote, please.
Freund,
Yes.
Mack,
Yes.
Maycumber,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Agenda item 14 is Transportation Center Project.
So they've got, you have in front of you a change order from Cresco Building Service, and this is kind of the final work on the project from Gary Anderson from Scott and Anderson, our architects. Terry, if you have anything to add to that?
Other than we'll wait 30 days, and as long as there's no creditors that come to us and say they weren't paid, then we'll make the final retainage payment after that.
Excellent.
I'd make a motion to approve the payment and the acceptance of the project and authorize the payment and retainage to be distributed 30 days as recommended by the board secretary.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve the Transportation Center Project change orders, final acceptance of the project, and authorize payment of retainage to be distributed in 30 days as recommended. Roll call vote, please.
Freund,
Yes.
Mack,
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Agenda item 15 is the SiAC appointments.
So we have been seeking 2 additional parent representatives, looking for 2 dads. I've got one on the agenda tonight to put before you, and that is Ryan Parker.
I'll make a motion.
So we'll continue to look for one
Still
more
looking
to
for
fill.
one more dad,
And
yes.
can you tell
And
me?
is that somebody that, I mean, anybody can nominate, or?
Anyone.
Okay,
Application is at our website.
okay.
When's the next meeting?
November.
November, okay.
Yep.
It meets 4 times a year?
It will meet 4 times, correct.
And are we only seeking dads because we have enough moms that are?
We're only seeking dads
home,
because
or-
the bulk of the committee is female, and Iowa
Okay.
code says that we need to strive for gender balance.
Okay.
So this will help us toward that.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're good?
I'd accept the SiAC nominees as presented.
Good.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the SiAC nominees as presented. Roll call vote, please.
Mack,
Yes.
Maycumber,
Yes.
Freund,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. Agenda item 16 is the first reading of policy 210.7 for regular meetings.
This changes the policy from 6:30 to 6.
Is there a motion?
I'd approve the first, oh, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of Board Policy 210.2, regular meetings, and waive the second reading as recommended.
I'll second that one.
Motion is second to approve the first reading of board policy 210.2 and to waive the second reading as recommended. Roll call vote, please.
Mack,
Yes.
Freund,
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. Agenda item 17 is the annual report.
Mrs. O'Brien.
Well, the annual report includes reports from each of the buildings, kind of telling what happened over the past year. It also includes kind of a summary of our year-end finances. It includes next year's line item budget by each of the funds. some information on staff changes that were made last year. So the financial information, year-end stuff, is information. Some of them you might remember from when we talked about the certified annual report. So, yeah, the big part for me was the line item budget, but.
Excellent. I found this to be a pretty valuable document. I mean, it's just something that really can flip through, and a lot of information in there that really helps understand so many different things that go on in our district. So I appreciate the hard copy because it's definitely something that's not easy to flip through on the Chromebook or on the
Right.
computer. So.
The only thing I can see is making a motion on it tonight is that we do just get it here just at the meeting time, and it would be nice if we could get it and then have a chance to read it and then possibly make a motion on it the following meeting. Just, not that we're gonna fight, but I'd feel more educated as to what I'm saying.
I would agree with that. The only question I have is, we're not approving this, we're just saying that we're receiving that, is that what you're asking?
Accepting the line item budget.
Okay. Oh, accepting the budget, okay, yeah, that,
Okay.
I agree with that one then,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
We'll make a motion to accept the 2017-18 annual report and approve the line item budget contained within the report.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to accept the 2017-18 annual report and approve the line item budget contained within the report. Are there any further questions or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Freund,
Yes.
Mack,
Yes.
Maycumber,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Agenda item 18 is financial report for September of 2017.
In the financial report, under the health fund balance, it increased $114,000 in 1 month. I looked at that and I thought, wow, and looked back, and we had the lowest expenses in our health fund in the last 11, almost 12 years.
Wow.
So we had 80,000 or 81,000 of expenses, and the last time we had an amount lower than that was January of 2006.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that is one of the reasons why our health fund balance went up so much, is it was significantly less than previous months. Last month, the amount was 175,000. So also, in our sales tax, we received some information from Piper Jaffray that they were predicting that the fiscal year 17 ending is going to be similar to the fiscal year 16 per pupil amount. They give you an estimate of the per pupil amount before the year starts, and it didn't come in quite at what they were anticipating, but it is just about what the fiscal year 16 was. And then lastly, for the new members, the financial report's going to look pretty much the same, or the same every month, with just new information summarizing year-to-date expenses. So feel free to come in, ask questions about what each report might mean. A lot of times I'll compare it to previous year at this time. So we're comparing September 2017 results to September 2016 results. A lot of times they should be very comparable, so.
So, for the 2017, September 2017 health, did we have a substantial difference in the number of people who were on the health insurance versus prior years?
September is the month where new employees come on. But a lot of times you'll have employees then going off as well.
Sure.
For the people who resigned, they're going to different work. Our enrollment is pretty stable from month to month as to the number that are being insured. I don't have an answer for it. It's a different mix of employees each year.
And if you look, it's the highest balance we've had going as far back as you provide us by quite
Yep.
a bit, so.
Yep.
And again, we reduce premiums as well.
Right. This
Which-
past year, we reduced premiums 11%
Which
because
could be some
last
incentive.
year, we were increasing, but this month was extraordinarily large increase.
And I, like I said a number of times before with the finance classes and sessions that IASB provides, a lot of this stuff, bits and pieces of it become clearer and clearer every time you kind of build that knowledge of terminology and things. And the session at Des Moines is just one that will help substantially understand why there are so many different line items, what they can and can't be used for, and things like that. So.
The good thing about this, the 1.8 million, is that since we're self-funded, that's our money. If we were fully insured, that would belong to our insurer. You're just paying the premium, but because we have a good year, we're keeping that money in a reserve so that potentially, we can have another good year of premium next year
Yes.
because our balance is growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Something more to offer, another benefit to offer our employees.
Yeah.
Which is a well-deserved, earned benefit in a
Mhm.
roundabout way.
Good. Any further discussion or questions? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the September 2017 financial report as presented.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second to accept the September 2017 financial reports as presented. Roll call vote, please.
Groin,
Yes.
Mack,
Yes.
Maycumber,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Agenda item 19 is consideration of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items as listed below.
I'll second it.
Motion and second to approve the consent agenda items as listed. Roll call vote, please.
Mack,
Yes.
Maycumber,
Yes.
Groin,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. Correspondence and miscellaneous.
Letter from the ACT showcasing our most recent graduates' performance on the ACT.
I also wanted to mention the flowers tonight.
Mhm.
Thanks to Lisa Cox, the pink flowers being for breast cancer awareness, the purple being for domestic abuse awareness. Thank you very much for those.
And the pink that we're wearing too.
And the pink we're wearing too. We all definitely have loved ones and friends that we're honoring tonight.
Absolutely. Agenda item 21, important upcoming dates.
We have important volleyball match here in about 45 minutes at Comet Gym. Tomorrow we've got the conference cross-country meet and walk con. On Saturday, the conference volleyball tournament in Cresco. We've got district cross-country coming up on the 19th, a school board meeting back here on the 23rd.
Should that be 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock is what it should be. That is correct.
Good catch.
Darn cotton paste.
Cut and paste to get you every time.
Okay, having no more business come before the board, we will adjourn at 6:43.
Excellent.
Oh, wait, yeah.